This area can often intrude into the size of this door opening, which makes getting in and out more difficult. That's it. Hi there, I'm Justin Pritchard. This is the new Nissan Rogue, and in this video, we're taking a look at its all-new platform, features, and dynamics-enhancing tech to see what it all means for how it drives. I recently spent the better part of 2,000 kilometers driving, filming, shooting, and testing the Rogue for various web and video assignments, which took me from Toronto to Sudbury and beyond. My testing included plenty of rough surface backroads driving, no less than 1,000 kilometers on the highway, and some light off-road use as well. In this video, I'll be sharing my key impressions from the experience for prospective shoppers shortlisting the Nissan Rogue for consideration. Hopefully these observations provide some insight that confirms or challenges your purchase decision. The Nissan Rogue hits the asphalt in model year 2021 riding an all-new platform and propelled by a new powertrain that combines little less than the very latest and high-efficiency tech under the hood. Like the Mitsubishi Outlander, with which the Nissan Rogue shares the majority of its nuts and bolts, what we've got here is a crossover for the times. Flexible, comfortable, built to deliver a value-enhancing driving experience that's more upscale, and equipped with some of the best in safety and fuel efficiency tech for 2021. Remember, this is a hugely competitive segment, competition is fierce, and automakers are throwing everything they've got into the mix. And as you watch, keep this thought in mind. A comfortable ride is important, but making it easier for the driver to operate the vehicle smoothly makes for a more comfortable and safer drive as well. So first, the 2021 Nissan Rogue is for the light-footed driver. If that's you, you'll find this new engine and transmission combo to be a superstar team. Behind the new grille is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder running the latest in free-breathing, friction-busting, fuel-saving tech. It's 181 apiece for horsepower and torque, no turbocharger, no hybrid. This is a straight-up four-cylinder that does its best work when being used lightly by a driver who isn't in a rush and who is concerned primarily with low noise levels and maximum efficiency. The continuously variable transmission, or CVT, hooks the power up to all four wheels, and this engine does its best and most fuel-efficient work at very low revs, where its pistons slip inside of mirror-lined cylinders at just off idle speeds as you cruise the highway. The shift-free transmission is a powerful weapon to help keep those revs low and steady, and it's very smooth and responsive at those low revs, meaning it's an ideal setup for the sort of driver with a light foot who's primarily concerned with good fuel mileage and not ever having to hear or feel much from under the hood. So you might say it's all in the delivery. This new powertrain team works brilliantly for the light-footed, fuel economy-minded driver because it makes it easy but also enjoyably smooth and responsive to drive efficiently. Apply an inch of throttle out of a green light, hold the pedal steady, and it's 2,000 RPM on the tachometer locked in as the Rogue glides up to speed with hardly a peep to be heard. So here's where I'm comfortable, about 5'10", 200 pounds, but I can tell you nothing feels tight, decent headroom, good shoulder room. Kind of the overwhelming thing from sitting here is actually how much of the scenery around me I can see. And important to note here, if you look from the top of my head, you'll see that the window here is actually taller than the top of my head. And so that means that when I look around, I'm seeing out the vehicle and not sort of this roofline structure, which in smaller crossovers can be a little bit lower. First thing I notice here, that was really easy to get in and out of. So we'll check that door opening out after. But look, at 5'10", maybe 5'11" on a good day, I've got tons of knee room. The headroom is going to run out the most quickly. These seats do recline slightly. You've got this kind of lounge atmosphere back here. Also important to note that Nissan's NASA-inspired zero-G seating technology is put in here on the front and the rear seat. So you've got first-class seating comfort, even if you're sitting here in the second row. And other than headroom being a little bit tight, I don't think you'll find any issue with space. This area here can often be an issue. This area can often intrude into the size of this door opening, which makes getting in and out more difficult. So if you've got larger adult grown-up passengers sitting back here, nothing about this is catching on the side of my leg. And that's not the case in a lot of crossovers. You've got to be a little bit careful here and sort of swing your hip around it. I don't have the need to do that. So I'm just going to walk in again and show you how easy this is to get in the rear seat for an adult. That's it. I didn't have to duck here, and I didn't have to twist my hips around this. And that means that if you've got larger or grown-up passengers frequently sitting back here, this is going to be excellent because it's so easy to get in and out of. Like nothing. My second observation is that this is not the machine you want if you're trying to satisfy a lead foot. Enthusiast drivers do have better choices for underhood firepower, and though the Rogue performs adequately during full throttle passing or merging maneuvers, the power delivery here lacks the polish and feel of traditional gear shifting and the associated sounds and sensations that enthusiasts will prefer. Still, there is a sport mode available to dial up the throttle response if you like. Ultimately, drivers after maximum smoothness and efficiency, not firepower, will get the biggest return on their investment from this new powertrain. It's also worth noting here that the new all-wheel drive system engages the rear axle from the get-go, effectively pushing and pulling the Rogue off the line from the very first inch of movement. This results in less squat from the vehicle during faster starts, less torque steer, and a smoother drive in stop-and-go traffic. Not to mention better traction on slippery surfaces. So to sum things up so far, it's smooth, easy on fuel, and gets moving gracefully, but it's not the crossover for drivers with a heavy foot. Third, the Rogue does some of its best work on smooth, winding highways. If that's the sort of driving you do a lot of, I think you'll really enjoy how the Rogue is set up. There are a few specific reasons why. Key among those are good outward sight lines with tall glass surrounding the driver. Additionally, the Nassau-inspired seating makes it easier for the driver to be comfortable in an upright and alert seating position, which helps drivers keep their eyes trained further up the road, enhancing safety and smoothness along the way. So from that foundation, the Rogue's quick, tidy steering and enhanced brake tracing capabilities make it an enjoyable corner carver. Specifically, as you steer, the Rogue applies light single-wheel braking to help stabilize the vehicle in a corner, helping it more accurately trace its line. The effect from the driver's seat is a vehicle that's more flat, tidy, secure, and confidence-inspiring on winding roads, and maybe especially on very winding roads where one corner transitions into the next. In that sort of setting, some crossovers feel like a bloated road porpoise. The Nissan Rogue is not one of them. Partly to thank is the vehicle motion control system, whose duties include constantly monitoring braking, steering, and acceleration to try and predict the driver's intentions and then step in to smooth things out ahead of time. This all helps the Rogue's driver find the proper cornering line more quickly, locks them into it more securely, and keeps the vehicle flatter and less active on its wheels as you go around the bend. The high-precision cornering feel means less need to readjust the vehicle, and that's less wallowing of the suspension and less drama as you enjoy a winding road, or ideally, a winding highway. My biggest disappointment was on very rough road surfaces, characteristic of badly beaten camp roads, craggy back roads, and the like. This is the rough road test. This is what separates the crossovers that ride sort of comfortably enough from the ones that ride really, really well. This is the roughest road anywhere near me. I use this almost daily as a ride quality exercise in just about everything that I'm driving because it happens to be right down the street from my house. And important to note that almost nothing handles this road with a comfortable ride. This is in really bad shape. Overall ride comfort is fine, I'd say adequate. If you listen closely, you're probably hearing a couple of panels squeaking and rattling there. Fairly normal, just a little bit more harshness and a little bit more noise than I'm used to for the money. You do have some smoother riding options here. I think the Mitsubishi Outlander is one of them. That might be down to some unique changes in the suspension and tires for that vehicle. I think you'd find the Subaru Forester would be a more comfortable ride on this. I think you'd probably find the Buick Envision to be one of the best rides on this. I've reported on that before. I appreciate the tuning to the steering, keeping that nice and straight despite all the abuse. and I appreciate how rigid and tough and dense and durable the structure of this thing feels beneath me. But I think I wish the ride was a little smoother and a little quieter. So hopefully these impressions helped you decide whether or not the Nissan Rogue matches your specific driving style. Well, thank you for watching. My name is Justin Pritchard. Until next time, take care and drive safe.